What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us today. We would really appreciate it if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Would be really appreciated, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to be with us. My name is Norbert Contreras. This is my beautiful wife,
Arlene Canales.
and this is Noah Caleb Contreras. He's our special guest today.
Oh yes. Say hi.
Say hi.
Say hi.
So, this has been a crazy year for you.
Oh yes.
So, how's everything going with you, and how's your pregnancy going?
Everything's fine with me. I finally got into a routine. Like I was able to get a routine now that the kids are back to school. But I've been feeling pretty good. Yes, I am pregnant. I am 4.5 months pregnant. I actually found out I was pregnant when he was 4 months. So,
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. Because we
crazy?
found out, with him, we found out that we found out you were pregnant the month we were getting married. The first day of the month of last year.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride for us because last year during May we had our plans to get married, and then that same month of our wedding I think it was May 1st, and our wedding was going to be May 27th. I found out I was pregnant. So ever since then it's been kind of crazy because it all started with the wedding because I had to change my dress because my body was changing. So then I got pregnant, and then I didn't know what to expect because my son was 9 at the time, and then my daughter was 13.
So it was 9 years.
It was like, so I was like, oh my goodness. You want to talk, Papa? So I was like, oh my goodness, like we don't know anything about babies anymore. Like we just didn't know what to. I feel like I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, it was like, it's been 9 years. I thought I honestly just wanted 2 kids, and then I didn't know. Like I knew my routine was gonna change.
He's trying to explain the story from his version.
I'm sorry, yeah.
And he knows what you're talking about. So.
But then, yes, and then you guys, like, I was somebody that had, like, I would go to the gym. I was finally getting my gym results, where you can start seeing, like, my muscles, my, what is it, like, definition, body definition. And I was so excited. I was somebody that, like, always had to have her house clean. Like, nobody can come in my house with their shoes dirty. It was like I was somebody who was a different person than what I am now.
You had a set structure, and you were living a certain life, and you had your routine. So that's one of the things that I noticed the most was how much it messed with you as far as, like, you had the kids you had to take care of. Your pregnancy obviously affects you.
Yeah.
You got tired and all that.
And I remember when I was pregnant with him, like, the first 3 months, it was a little bit hard for me because I was tired all the time. I would still go to the gym. Like, my whole 8 months of pregnancy, I would still go to the gym and work out. But I remember the first 3 months, I was so tired. And I remember I was like, I wonder how moms that have, like, little kids do it, because at that time, like, I had the option that if I was tired, I can go to sleep. I didn't have no little kids to come on me.
Sorry.
Because Leanne and Brayden were in school, so if I wanted to take a nap, I would just take a nap. And I remember I was like, how do moms do it? The ones that still have, like, little kids, But anyway, the first 3 months were hard. I was tired all the time. I felt sick all the time. I still had to make food for my other kids. I will still try to clean my house.
But it just wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same, but I was able to adjust to those changes. It was hard, but I feel like if you set your mind to it, and like your mind and your actions like join together, then it's different. Because if you're doing things and then your mind's like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, then it's not gonna work. But I was like, no, I'm still gonna do things, you know, that I can do with the little energy. And I honestly, like, I kept doing what
You could.
like what I could. Yes, I never like stopped.
So fast tracking. Once you had Noah, you had a pulmonary
Embolism.
So can you tell us a little bit about that, the whole experience, and the recovery of all that?
Yeah. So fast forward to delivery. He was actually born at 35 weeks. He was. I was getting contractions, and for every contraction, he was losing his oxygen. So that was already like something that we had to deal with. You know, it was like kind of scary because you don't know what's gonna happen in the moment. Like anything can happen. So I saw like how many nurses and doctors came in, and they were just monitoring him, making sure, like, you know, they wanted to keep him as long as they could in my belly, but they couldn't because his oxygen was like just going down. So I had to go under like an emergency C-section, and we had him at 35 weeks. He was, how much did he weigh?
He was 4 pounds and 11 ounces.
Yeah, 4 pounds 11 ounces. He didn't have to be in the NICU because, okay, whenever you have a baby before 37 weeks, because 37 weeks is considered full term, but anytime before that, if you have a baby, they have to go over some stuff with you, like explaining to you that, okay, your baby might be in the NICU after you have him, so you might not get to see him. He might need oxygen. They explained all of that to us.
The blood sugars. He wasn't holding his insulin level, wasn't adequate, so they had to be monitoring him that, but he never went to the NICU.
Yeah, so we were like, so
it was pretty
happy.
crazy.
Yes, like we were so happy everything was good with him. Like my C-section, like that was the best C-section I've had, honestly, because the epidural, like I got the epidural where it's like a straight injection to your spinal cord, and
he's a talker. He likes to talk a lot.
And everything was just good. We were happy. We got to go home after the 3rd day.
Yeah, because the doctor originally came, and they were like trying to get us to get prepared for like the worst, like if he was gonna be there, and you know they kept trying to, you know, and I get it, you know, that's their job.
Because it happens, and it happens. Like those are things that happen, and they have to prepare you for it. And
but we went home early.
Yeah.
And that's when we went home, and
that's when we went home. You know, thinking everything was okay. I mean, I did go home with my legs swollen, and I had a lot of pain, but I thought the swelling was normal because I had just gotten out of surgery. And when I got home, I was like, for like 2 days, I was like, babe, my legs hurt a lot. Like they hurt a lot, they're swollen. So
then
I couldn't even walk. And then my sister-in-law, I remember she brought me some compression socks, and that took the swelling away, but my legs were in a lot of pain. Like, so then the 3rd day, so I gave birth on Thursday, and then on Sunday they were all getting ready to go to church, and I was gonna stay home with the baby. So I was like, hey babe, before you guys leave, let me take a quick shower. So I took advantage, and I got in the shower. I started feeling like super weak, and then
like lightheaded,
like lightheaded, like weak, like I knew something was wrong. And that's when you walk in, and I remember you're like, how are you feeling? And I'm like, babe, I don't feel good. I think I'm about to pass out. And as soon as I said that, I remember like I dropped the shampoo bottle, and I just remember going like blank, like it just, I passed out, like, but you were there, like you got me, like.
And we were about to leave. Like we were about to leave like within 30, I think like 30 minutes. We were gonna leave, and then it all happened right before we leave. So, thank God that we were still there, and thank God my mom was there because my mom was in town. My mom and my dad were in town to help me with the baby. They were going to leave that day after church, but since that incident happened, we rushed her to the hospital. We called 911. Ambulance came. She went to the hospital. I went with her, and then my mom stayed for like an additional few weeks.
Thanks to his mom being there, he was able to be with me at the hospital. And then we got to the hospital. They didn't know why I passed out. They honestly thought like maybe I had internal bleeding because of they were saying a lot of things. And then my husband was like, can you guys check her for blood clots, because she was complaining that her legs like hurt her a lot. She was in pain. And the doctor for some reason listened to you. He was like, all right, let's get her into a scan. They scanned my whole body, and I remember like it took like an hour, 2 hours later, like they came back and they were like, we found blood clots
on your legs,
on my legs. And they were like, no, and they also found it in my lungs.
One of them left your leg, and then it went through your heart. It traveled through her heart and then went to her lungs. So that was super dangerous. Like you can, have some serious complications from that. So thankfully, nothing happened with that.
I know. The doctors were like, you should celebrate this day. Like you're so lucky to be alive, because when a blood clot travels through your heart, it's like you're lucky to be alive. You're literally lucky to be alive. And they even told me, they're like, oh, you should remarry this guy. Like he saved your life. Like, so then anyway,
all I did was research, like, because she kept complaining about her legs hurting, and I'm the type of person that if something's off or something's weird, I like to just find out like why that was happening. So, alert, if you're pregnant, if you had a baby and you're having pains in your calves, the doctor's gonna tell you it's normal, which it could be, but it wouldn't hurt to go get checked, because it's a sign of blood clots. So
it can be a sign of blood clots.
Just throwing that out there if you're having a baby or if you're expecting.
So then the treatment for that is usually blood thinners. You inject them in your stomach, in your abdominal area. And the treatment was for 3 to 6 months. It was a high dose, and it was twice a day. I was able to finish that treatment. Thank God everything went good, And then they do tell you cannot get pregnant anymore, just because you have that risk of going through it again, So it was not in our plans. We were like, no, either way, like the third baby's good, But then Khaled turns 4 months, and we find out I'm pregnant. Again. So I was honestly scared when I found out. I was crying.
You were scared because you just had.
Yes, I was scared, but I was able to understand that anything that happens to you is for a reason, especially if you're like, you have God on your side, nothing is like everything is a plan of God. So I just remember like, okay, if God allowed this, is because, He's gonna be with me no matter what, So I was able to shift that, like, the thoughts were still there, but I was able to shift it, my mind. I was also scared because I was like, how am I gonna do it? Like, I'm gonna have 2 under 2, like it's gonna be a lot. Like, I still have, a teenager, I have a little boy. have a baby. Like all these thoughts come to your head. Yeah. All these thoughts just come to your head, but I feel like it's just like a humanly thing. Like, but if you can just control those thoughts and emotions, like, all right, and then breathe. You actually get to see the good things, because then I started thinking like, well, you know what? At least he's not gonna grow up by himself, and he's gonna have a little brother to play with. Babies always just bring like this joy to the house, like.
Obviously, as you can see. No, it's a huge blessing to have kids. Honestly, like, it's our lives have changed completely. I feel like younger. I feel like we restarted,
Yes.
and it's making us, push ourselves more and more and more in our personal lives.
Yes.
So, but I will say this, backtracking to what happened to you with the whole blood clots. You were out of it for. The recovery was like 3 months, but the first month she was like out of it as far as the recovery, because since she had blood clots in her lungs, she was having problems with breathing, oxygen. So I was actually not at work for 5 weeks, and I was taking the kids to school, taking my daughter to practice, helping her with the baby, and honestly, like, that whole experience just changed my whole perspective about stay-at-home moms, because staying-at-home mom is I don't care what anybody says, it's the hardest job in the whole world. Like, I was so ready to go back to work. I remember I was ready to go back to work, and it's just so much, because you guys have to get the kids ready early, wake up early, get them ready, get them breakfast, and then once they leave, clean, after them, and then start getting ready for them to get out of school, start getting food, go pick them up. If you've ever gone to school to pick up kids and been around crazy moms, they drive like Fast and I feel like all moms that take their kids to school watch Fast and Furious, because they was like just a battle.
If we're running late, you become a crazy mom. Like,
I was always a chill driver until I started taking the kids to school, and then I became like, I got road rage. I was always fighting with the moms, honking at them, and it got crazy. So honestly,
that only happens when we're running late. Anybody can relate to that.
And I was always running late.
There you go. So then you were running late, and the moms were getting there late. So all of you were just like trying to get the kids to school.
So you had an appointment this week?
Yes.
So how's everything going with?
So.
Which we don't have anything.
No, yeah. So we forgot to tell them that I went to the doctor with this pregnancy. Like, we were scared, we were worried, we had questions. The first question was like, am I gonna be okay? Like, is the baby gonna be okay? Like, just all these things, because with him they had told me you cannot get pregnant again, because you either die or you go through the same risk of like getting those blood clots again. And she was like, this was already another doctor. I didn't go back to his doctor, because just things, things that happen. But anyway, I switched doctors, and she was like, she made me feel like at ease, because she was like, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna run blood work. We're gonna see if this is a genetic thing. We're gonna see why it happened. So she was able to give me those answers, and she was like, you're gonna see a high risk doctor. Like, you're gonna be fine. So I feel like that's why I've been enjoying this pregnancy as well. I have that peace as well. Like, I know everything's gonna be okay. I'm seeing a high risk doctor, and then I'm seeing my OB as well. And so it's like I see my OB every 4 weeks, and then I see my high risk doctor every 2 weeks. So they're able to monitor me and the baby. And they told us that he's doing good. It's a boy. I don't know if we told him that. We're having another boy, and he's good, honestly. Like,
yeah, I said everything's looking honestly almost perfect. So
yeah, like,
that was good news, and it made you feel a lot better,
yeah,
more at peace.
Yeah, it really does. And then he even told me, he's like, you're not high risk pregnancy. more of like under not surveillance, is that the word? Like we're just watching you, you know, because there's honestly you're healthy and the baby's healthy. Like there's not, but we're just watching you, making sure you know you're taking those blood thinners, because I am on blood thinners again. I'm gonna be on blood thinners my whole pregnancy, and then I'm gonna be on blood thinners 3 months after I have the baby as well.
It's
It's the
injection.
injections I have to put. I mean, all of that, it is a lot, you guys. Don't I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it is a lot. I don't know if somebody out there is going through it, and you know, it can be a lot. But I don't let that like just be something that like bothers you every day, or that like, because injecting yourself every day is, and the pain, like it burns, but just know that like we're creating a human being inside of us, you know, and there's nothing more beautiful than that.
And how I've honestly, like, I've noticed that this pregnancy in specific, like, I've seen a lot of, you know, good changes in you. You know, the way you've been acting, the way you know done everything. You kind of like, every time something happens now, I've noticed now, you kind of just brush it off, and you kind of just, you know, you have a different energy, like a different aspect towards life. That's what I've noticed. And you know, you got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
You know, we got this one little twister over here. You're pregnant. You know, we've been working on this YouTube channel, and you're like a huge part of it. If not, honestly, she's the one that comes up with the ideas. You're very involved at church. You got a teenage daughter.
Yeah.
We have a middle child. You have a lot of things going on, and I honestly think you're killing it. So how are you doing it this time around?
Well, I remember like whenever I would see like moms with 4 or 6 kids, I would be like, how do they do it? Like, I have only 2, and I barely have the patience for it, you know, like I never saw myself having like more than 2 kids, because raising a kid is a lot. Like it takes a lot of, you know, your time, a lot of your love, a lot of your patience, a lot of everything, you know. And ever since I had him, like I changed completely. Like what used to bug me, like little dirty things in my house, like didn't bug me anymore. Like it was just like I don't know, like I don't know why my mentality changed a lot after I had him. Like little things that never mattered, like I don't see them as a problem anymore. And with this pregnancy, I feel like I am more like calm as well. Like I don't know, I feel like every kid changes you for the good, like for the good. And patience is something that just naturally like comes. Like nobody's giving anything. It's just like you learn how to deal with things. You learn how to navigate through them, and we're all here learning. Like I feel like you're learning as well as a dad of, you know, about to be 4, you know, like nobody teaches you how to do anything. You have to like just learn how to do things.
Well, I'm excited. You're halfway there. Everything's going good. We have fall around the corner, which, as you can see, she's ready for it. I'm not. I'm still summer mode. I don't want to let go of summer.
Me and Noah are ready for the fall.
Well, I'm happy that everything's going good. I'm excited for our future, and we just want to thank you guys for tuning in.
But before you know we say anything else, honestly, like I wouldn't be able to do this without him. Like you have to have a good support system at home, because if you don't have that, like you're not going to be able to do it. Like you guys have to like learn how to communicate. If something's wrong, like, you know, talk about it. Even if you think it's going to start like friction or arguments, like you know that whatever you said, it's going to be, you know, in their mind. And I feel like that's why everybody says teamwork, how does it go?
Teamwork makes dreams work.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dreams work. It really does. And my children help a lot, you help a lot. We all help, honestly, you guys, and I'm really thankful that I have, the support of my husband and my children, because I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. So I recommend you guys to husbands out there, like, help your wives and give them all the help and support they need.
You gotta talk a lot. There has to be a lot of communication.
A lot of,
And
even
you gotta
if
put
it's
a lot of
uncomfortable,
effort.
like, it's uncomfortable having those talks. It's uncomfortable, like, hey babe, like, I'm really hormonal today, like, this is bugging me, like, because, like, he's not gonna understand how I feel, and nobody understands what a pregnant girl is going through unless you're pregnant. Even if you say, like, well, I used to be pregnant, yeah, but you forget the thoughts you get when you're pregnant, and it's a lot, like, it's a lot of hormonal changes, and but just talking to him about them, like, just helps me feel better, because you're, like, just letting that out. It's like letting trash out. I don't know, it's weird. And even if he doesn't understand you, like, just talking about it is gonna make you feel better. Just talk, communicate, and learn how to like work with yourself, work with things, and not just get stuck in those emotions, I would say.
Yeah, no, for sure. But no, I mean, honestly, like I said, I'm just trying to enjoy it.
Enjoy.
I've really enjoyed our time with Noah, and it's been a great experience. He's changed our lives completely, and he's with us all the time, as you can see. He's always with us in everything we do, so it's been a huge blessing. But no, it's good. It was good talking about this. We have this conversation all the time, so it was good to talk through it, and it kind of reminds you of how crazy of a year, how crazy and how blessed our last year has been. So, but we're like super thankful
And excited for this baby. We don't know what to expect. 3 is, you have 2 older children, and we have this one, and then we're like, all right, what to expect now? Like, now we're gonna have to be like full hands-on, changing 2 diapers, But I think we got a little bit lucky with him because he's not that much of a handful. But
No,
we don't know what to
he's
expect.
very chill.
Yeah, we don't know what to expect, but we're ready for it. That's all we can say. We'll just be ready for it.
Well, cheers
Cheers.
to the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys. I know our channel is still small, but we're grateful that we're seeing the progress going. So,
And we're grateful for all the 100 and what
150.
subscribers that we're so grateful for you guys, and give us some feedback, like if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, or just talk to us. We're just honestly trying to make this grow and make a difference out there.
Yep. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful weekend. Thank you.